Viewers. If you are a part of the game and are on a team and want your team name to be picked, shout it into the Twitch chat. And that way you could possibly get your team name underway in the game. I did switch over to this. Good. We do not have any team names at the moment, but Draven banned out. As you saw, his powerhouse was just super strong last game, so they are going to ban him out. Not interested in having Draven played. He is super strong with those axes, just going to be dominating in that bottom lane, but not this game. LeBlanc also a powerhouse, but for the ability power, going to be doing massive damage in the mid lane, but not this game as well. Classic ban with the Jax indeed as well, not wanting him in that top lane. His ability to build leap to allies as well as enemies as well as minions as well as wards makes him extremely strong, and that is one of the major reasons why he's banned out, not just because he has massive amounts of power. Yasuo banned out as well. Purple team banned out him last game as well. They did not interested in watching it. That's another thing I do try to do, Raw Rim Dead, is I try to give a lot of educated information about certain reasons why things in games and plays happen, is help players learn some things when they're watching. So it's not just a game, it is also as well. Team SKT T11. Alright, that is going to be Team Blue Team's name. I need a team name for a Purple Team before we can get the team names properly labeled. If anyone is on Blue Team and wants a team name, let me know. So, Braum and Lee Sin also banned out. Braum is one of the super strong supports of the game at the moment. He does a lot to help his allies out, getting in there and giving them a lot of magic and armor resist. Basically makes them take no damage for a short period of time, as well as his unbreakable wall means that he is able to take and soak up a lot of damage from the other team. Even melee champions still have a number of different casts that they do, and magic range casts are also blocked by his wall, so he can negate a lot of damage if he gets in there and gets gritty and does his job. Lee Sin has that capability to leap around, do a lot of damage. You saw that last game. He was able to kill somebody just with his Q and red buff, so he did a fantastic job, but not going to be played this game. Patchinator on his favorite champion, that Thresh. We always like Thresh, and we'll see how well he does, but that means Ruse does not get his support, the Thresh. However, instead, I think he will be playing a Diana instead. It will be Xi Gengar on the Leona support in that bottom lane. Leona is one of my personal strongest supports. I play her a lot. She does an excellent job with the mass amount of CC that she can put down, as well as Ruse picking up the Diana for the jungle, possibly, unless he trades it out. Diana is extremely strong. She does have a nice pull with it, as well as does really good damage. She does have to have a good player to be able to place that Q down on the right people to then be able to use her ult to jump to him. But we are jumping through champions real fast. Blastonator is going to be playing that Twitch. Twitch is one of the strongest ADCs in the game at the moment, so he's going to be playing that in the bottom lane. Dozer Man on the Xin Zhao jungle. He is extremely strong as well. With that passive heal, he's able to keep himself alive, as well as being able to slow enemies simply by dashing to them. It means that he makes a great ganker. Crazy Murderer on the Nidalee in the mid lane. We saw him last game as well, and so we're going to be able to see him with the massive amount of damage of his poke, and we'll see if Blue Team can deal with that Nidalee in the mid lane, as JP23 is once again on his favorite champion, as we saw in the last game, Lucian, with that poke composition as well. Both of them poking down the enemy with their long-range abilities is going to be doing a great job of making Blue Team's life a bit of a hell. The Chosen One picking up a Darius for that top lane. Darius is a very strong champion, as we've all seen in multiple games with that ultimate. However, he does require the aid of his team to get the enemy low enough health that he can spam that ultimate. So, best of luck to the team being able to do that. And then Rakuto Baby picking up Akali. Akali is a very good champion, especially because he's a bronze player. She's a little bit of a snowballing champion. You really have to be able to get off kill or two off early game before then pursuing it towards the late game with all of the damage that Akali can have. But If Dozerman does a really good number of ganks in that mid lane, it helps Akali start to get fed and start snowballing off of Nidalee or snowballing off of other lanes as well. Could be very, very deadly for purple team. And then Booty Smasher with an amazing in-game name on the Shyvana will be going, I think, in the top lane. Shyvana is taking heal and there we go, flash and teleport, so she's able to jump to her team. Going to be doing a nice job in that top lane. We saw her last game as a jungler, but this game going to be top lane against the Darius. So now that we have a 3-minute, once again, as always, if you are currently watching the game and are interested in watching the game afterwards and not lagging your game, please feel free to stop watching and watch the game afterwards, both on Twitch, on YouTube. You can follow me at That Shoutcast Guy, as well as on Facebook.com/That Shoutcast Guy. I'm available on both, and you can watch the games afterwards, as well as both this last game and this game will be on my Facebook page tomorrow, so you can share with friends, let them know what a fantastic job you did in your game, and that you were MVP if you were MVP of the game. I'm going to run through everybody real fast, though, and Pratchinator on the Thresh for Team Blue. They do not have anybody. Oh, blue team is Zyan. I like that. Zyan. We're going to do that. Team Zyan. There we go. So now we have both teams. Okay, we can show them off. It did jump a little bit to way bigger. I need to really fix that and figure out how to change that. But there we go. SKT11 versus Team Zyan. Paginator on SKT11. Blaston on the Twitch ADC. Dozerman with that jungle Zinzao. The Chosen One in the top lane. Darius. Rockadol baby. Playing that Akali in the mid lane. For Team Zyan. Xi Gengar on the Leona in a bottom lane support role. Ruse on that jungle Diana, which will be very interesting to watch. Crazy Murder with that Nidalee in the mid lane. JP23 with the ADC Lucian in the bottom lane. And Booty Smasher on that Shyvana in the top lane as we get down to the double YYC champion jam between these two teams 5v5. Actually, you kind of need some brawler champions to really get that ultimate damage down. Double down downer, we've got the ultimate smash down in the game of Team ST11 versus Team Zyan. SKT11 versus Team Zyan taking head-to-head. Alright, enough of that. As we've got 50 seconds left, which team do I predict is going to win? It's hard to say. Both teams are so good. I really love Thresh on any team. Really, I love Darius on any team. I love Zinzao on any team. But the damage for purple team is just where it needs to be. That Lucian, that mid lane Nidalee, Ruse in the jungle, a Leona is fantastic, and then of course the engage on Shyvana is just too good. Passing it over to Team Zyan for the win. Best of luck, though, and I hope that you can take it for the win. Feel free, though, SKTT11, to prove me wrong and make sure that you win it for the game. Well, won my grudge match, but made a friend. Awesome job at both things, but more the friend. It's always good to make a new friend, whether you win or lose, because that's what really matters. As we now get in game, ladies and gentlemen, those are not the team names. We have to make the team names proper with Team ST11 versus Team Zyan. We're going to get these game underway. Yeah, they do. Actually, a good point there made by Rawrim Dead. The fact that both Diana and Leona are on the same game. I guess they worked out their own grudge match and became friends long enough to play this one game. Which is funny because Lucian and Thresh are also like hated enemies. But that is one of my favorite lineups is when I play Thresh and I've got a really good Lucian player. It is so strong. So excellent job. And thank you all, though, for joining and participating in the games today. My Here's the thing, which makes it absolutely crazy, is the fact that this stream continues to get crazy bigger and bigger, and I didn't expect it to. When I initially started doing this, it was just for fun and just with a couple of friends of mine, and I would get like 5 to maybe 10 viewers, you know, all 10 people that were watching. And now our classic is up to like, what did we get to? It was about 30 active viewers, as well as the chat was blowing up. It was crazy. It was a lot of fun. You guys have done such an amazing job of making the stream what it is today. And do understand that the bigger that it gets, you guys are at the beginning of a stream that hopefully will one day get huge. Think about like the massiveness that Trick2G's channel is, but if you had been there from the beginning, you guys are the beginners. You guys are watching it where the game starts. You guys are building it as this stream continues to get more and more massive. And so thank you guys for playing and watching and participating and being here and chatting and letting me do what I absolutely love to do while letting you guys do what you absolutely love to do. It is a shame that you guys actually don't get very much, if any, IP for playing these customs. You're spending so much time to just do this. I wish that League of Legends or Riot actually had a game mode that was just tournament mode where you actually got like a normal game IP, but being able to be built up like this. So if you guys want to, send me a message with your name, and that way I can kind of put together a roster of people that would love to have an actual in-game that you could both get IP, but could also be better for shoutcasters like myself. So Yumia's Tiamat with Cleaver does 25% armor reduction. Better Badly Sin and Briar are discussing the pros and cons of the two champions. They just had a grudge match in which Briar actually successfully won. So he not only won RP, but he also won the grudge match, which was more of just to see which player could do better. But they did an excellent job in that. I wasn't able to watch, unfortunately. If you guys do have a 1v1 that you want me to spectate, let me know. I almost forgot to mention all of these amazing skins: Gangster Twitch, Warren King, Zinzao, and Stinger Akali, one of my favorite Akali skins coming out there, and Headhunter Nidalee coming out for purple team. But that means that blue team has more skins, and when you have more skins, you get more wins. So it is very likely the blue team will come back in this game and prove that they are the better ones. With all of these amazing skins, they're going to win it. Warren Kingdom Zinzao is a incredible skin. Not only does it change a whole lot, like his beautiful like loading screen visual, but the in-game visual is amazing as well, with all that beautiful hair and fur just flowing everywhere. I wish they'd given him a horse. Like, how cool would it have been for Zinzao to actually get, like, a freaking horse and be riding the horse around in-game? I understand logistics, whatever. Still would have been pretty awesome, though, for him to, like, charge at you with his spear, and then toss you in the air, but it's so cool. Maybe he should ride Hecarim. Going Jung, would you upgrade to Lizard and play through, or keep Machete and go standard Lee build? Personally, if I was Lee Sin, I don't know, because I don't play Lee Sin. I'm a really terrible Lee Sin. I played him a couple times and he's free, and I am not good. I'm great at landing my skill shots. I'm terrible at knowing when to go in and living. The key with Lee Sin is knowing when to both jump in and how to get out. You have to go in with an escape plan in mind, unless you know guaranteed that you can kill. I do not know that I can kill my opponent when I go in. So I get a little bit of damage, and then if I jump out, they're probably so low health, I'm like, oh crap, I could have killed them. Or I jump in going, I can kill them, and then they don't lose any health, and I'm like, oh, I guess I can't kill them. That's really sad. But we are in game. We do not have a Lee Sin in this game, so off of the Lee Sin topic, let me go ahead and jump over to my in-game beautiful mode. We do not need these team names, though, as we have different team names. Excellent music getting us started off here in this game of SKT T11 versus Team Zyan. Welcome to the way the game goes. A little bit of dancing here from both of these two in that bottom lane for purple team. Dance for the stream if you know how to be mean. I mean, what? No, that's not what I mean at all. But they know that they're on stream, Shoutcast mode. Don't forget to share with your friends and let them know that you had a beautiful custom Shoutcast game. I gotta put people in their correct positions. We're gonna get Leona and Thresh versus each other down here in that bottom lane. We've got that Lucian and Twitch. I'm sorry, my brain totally failing me at the moment. And then in that mid lane, we've got Nidalee versus Akali. The junglers next, that Diana versus the Xin Zhao. And that top lane, Shyvana versus Darius. Always pack a snack. That's the way to do it. There we go. We've got the correct finger mode. A man, a woman, and a Yordle walk into the sun. And that Yordle had a really fun three-way, if you know what I mean. I do play Master Yi. Well, I played him back in the day, Season 2. He is incredibly strong right now. A little bit less. Shh. 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 Diana, I'm talking. Shh. I'm talking. Anyway, I do play Yi. I love his kit. He is pretty fantastic and very strong. He's a little bit of a snowballing champion as he is like straight damage and doesn't really have a whole lot of CC. But if your team has CC, a Thresh or Leona or likewise, you're going to be doing really, really well. Just gank bot and allow your team to win the lane the entire way. You get enough damage on minions, you get enough damage on them, force them out of lane, and then your ADC and support can just take it from there and win the game. So, I love... Yi's a little bit of a cheap champion if you know how to play him right, so... Classic start by all the people. Looks like that Xin Zhao and Diana will be starting off with that red and blue buff correctly. It will be Xin actually jumping to his wraiths while Diana has to walk all the way to her wraiths as she is on the opposite side of the map. But that means that both of them should reach that top lane at the same time unless they decide not to gank level 2 or 3 and instead progress on and just farm heavy. There are some junglers that like to just farm heavy. This Akali's doing a nice job of keeping pressure on that Nidalee in the mid lane, but once she gets her heal, it could be game in that mid lane. Booty Smasher going ahead and using one of her pots, but she has a lot of pots as she bought that armor instead of a Doran's in that top lane. She kind of knew that she was going to need a lot of those potions. Pachinair coming in here, getting a little bit of poke. That was kind of like a Thresh high five with that hook. He's kind of like, what up, Lucian? How you doing? I stole your wife. What you going to do about it? Nice hook, though, coming out. Is going to pull JP23 really close. He's taking really low health. Will be enough. The exhaust is down as well. Leona trying to stop Twitch. He actually E'd to him, which paused him in his motion and might have saved Lucian's life. If Twitch had gotten that expunge off on Lucian, that might have been the death of Lucian. But the E of Leona actually stops the whatever champion she hits in their tracks, which meant that her Lucian could keep walking off to the side and stay a little bit safer. There's another hook from Thresh, but it's going to land on Leona instead. XIR actually leaping to Blaston, who's now going to get a little bit of damage from JP23. The heal burned, though, and that was available from Lucian. He actually baited that pretty well, and that has kept him alive in that bottom lane for just a little bit longer. As Rock2Baby's now struggling a little bit against Crazy Murderer, who a little bit of damage with those ADC auto attacks, but that's enough to keep Kali away from the mid lane for just long enough. May be able to keep alive a little bit. Does have some pretty good spell vamp. I think Kali has built-in spell vamp, and so she can only do it a little bit better. There's a little bit more poison from Twitch in that bottom lane onto Lucian, but not going to do a whole lot. It does look like both junglers want to just keep farming heavily, though there is a ping from Diana in that mid lane, or from somebody in that mid lane on purple team. Not sure which one is pinging, whether it's Nidalee asking for help or Diana saying she's going to come there after grabbing wraiths. But this game is getting a little more interesting. No kills just yet. The Chosen Juan taking about 2/3 health in that top lane. His Booty Smasher is the same way. Both still with potions, but now both ADCs are out of potions as they have been harassing back and forth hard in this game. That Nidalee still has her potion. Xin Zhao coming in. Akali getting one last nice hit, but Xin Zhao is here. The heal from Nidalee giving her a little bit of a boost. Maybe is just long enough she used her heal to get a little bit of a speed. Goodbye, Megan. I love you too. Thank you for talking to Laura. As in this bottom lane, Xin Zhao has now actually found Nidalee once again, and that slow may allow him to get in just a little bit more, but Darius up here not actually paying attention quite enough. Nidalee should be able to escape that as Diana was there. Brah, funny, lol. Do you even swag? Good luck, hope you lose. That is bad manners, Nidalee. Not even close, baby. Not even close, baby. 1v1 Jake, maybe the Viper, but I would not play Yi if I was 1v1. Yi is not that great of a 1v1 champion. There are many other champions I would take if I was going to 1v1. Not a problem, Briar. Welcome back to the stream. See Gengar getting a little bit of damage from that Twitch poison effect going down. Xin Zhao getting a little bit of poke onto Booty Smasher up here. Things to be aware of. Diana being extremely low health. She might actually die to this right now. And executed. Ruse getting taken out by the right. That is not fun at all. Have you guys seen the new in-game graphics that are coming out? So excited for that. I cannot wait. Twitch needs to really be using his expunge when he does that. If he knows that he's going to be backing off, you use your poison because that instantly puts down a bunch of stacks, and then you expunge afterwards, which burns those stacks and actually makes use of them rather than them just kind of sitting there and then burning off if you have the mana for it. But yeah, be aware when you're going to go in and when you're going to back off, because if you know you're going to back off, you may as well just go ahead and use the poison and then expunge afterwards. But nice by Pachinator coming in here, throwing a good hook and flay. The damage is down on Leona. Will it be enough to finish her off? She actually got an auto attack there, which allowed her to hang on for just a little bit. She actually, through the E, I think she was trying to just get some damage onto these minions as Lucian did back, so she's trying to defend the tower. Crazy Murder in the mid lane has now got cat form, and that is dangerous for Akali, as Nidalee struggles to farm at the beginning, 26 to 33 on the Akali, but she is going to be able to get back without a problem with that cat form because she has such good AoE. See, Gengar is a new player in this game, so nice job to you jumping out here and playing a game with us. Welcome to the game. Crazy Murderer knows that Akali's in there. Actually, look at that, throwing out a couple of those. They are only on cooldown, so just threw out some just to see if they could hit Akali, and only one, the jump did. But nice save, jumping behind that minion is going to keep Akali alive for a little bit longer. Akali does once again get scary, but it's actually Xin Zhao who's going to walk over trap and be seen and not be there for the gank. Excuse me. On that mid lane. Oh, Mick is still here. That's cool. Hi, Mick. I didn't know if you were hanging around or not, but love you, bro. Anyway, Crazy Murder throwing out another spear here. It's only going to finish off a minion. Rock the baby. Still plenty of health to stick around in that mid lane for a while. Looks like the ADCs are almost even. The only difference between them is a pair of boots and a longsword. So Lucian's going to get a little bit more damage in and out, but the damage from Twitch is going to be a lot stronger, as you should. It appears that Leona in her back went ahead and bought the beginning of the sight ward, as Thresh has not back just yet. Akali jumping to a minion is going to get a little bit more AoE down on the Nidalee. She's just going to throw a spear and use a heal to keep herself alive. She is not backed yet and gotten the chalice. She did get some of that mana though, so she will have some pretty good mana in the mid lane, as that is what you need on a Nidalee. More harass from Baby flying over to the Nidalee. So best of luck keeping alive there. I'm going to check gold here, as Thresh did back, but only bought the rest of Targon's Brace, and so it's going to be sitting at a pretty low 240 gold, as no one's sitting at really a whole lot of gold. Shyvana against Darius in that top lane went ahead and looks like he's going to be starting with that Sunfire Cape, grabbing that help, and still has that cloth armor from initially. Flay from Pachinator not really doing a whole lot. Twitch still getting a good job of getting that harass down. As Lucian harasses back in that top lane, looks like Diana is going to be doing a nice job actually getting the slow onto the Chosen One, pulling him back a little bit. He's going to try to pull either Diana or Shyvana closer to the tower, but that did not land, as both of them are going to back off in that top lane. Another hook from Pachinator is going to go onto Leona. Not really the target you want. She knows it's available though, and that exhaust as well, or is not available. That exhaust is going to slow Twitch down, taking him really low health. He's going to be forced to use the heal and actually turn invisible to back off. Thresh doing a nice job of putting down that ultimate, which is going to make it very difficult to kill that Twitch when you're so slowed. In the mid lane, Akali has the ignite, and double damage with that ultimate is going to finish her off and get first blood. Leona actually trying really hard, flashing in to get a little bit of damage onto Twitch, as both of them turn on to Thresh, who wants to keep the fight going, put the exhaust onto Lucian, but I can't see what's going on. Is in the top lane. Both of them are going to go back down. Everyone realized first blood went down. Maybe we need to fight more. We're going to keep going in, as Diana's making her way down here, but that pink ward is available for purple team, or blue, yeah, for purple team, or blue team, so they could see her, but Leona doing a nice job of EQ combo onto the Twitch, keep him in place. Diana jumps in, gets the kill. GG. However, I was one of those Trick sub wars. If you want to see that, that would be awesome. I actually have also been, well, not in a sub war. It was actually a viewer war that Trick 2G did. I was in that as well early on at the beginning of his channel. When he did have subscribers, but it was very few and far between, so he would do viewer wars instead of sub wars. So that was pretty slick. But the Penta you got in Trick's stream, I'm interested in his response. Oh, okay. Yeah, but that was early on. I don't even know if it's still there. I have to go way back in Twitch's channel, about 4 or 5 years. Not 4 or 5 years, but like 3 years maybe back is when I was in Trick's game. So back when he wasn't even popular, nobody knew who he was. But that's okay, whatever. Crazy Murderer. Purple team doing a good job starting off this dragon early on. Twitch is gonna get a little bit of damage, but Diana's Smite is gonna finish him off, and that is gonna be the first dragon for Purple team. However, Akali wants a piece of that. Diana coming in, using a nice ultimate to get some damage down on Diana, as Purple team is gonna back off from that. Nearly throwing yet another spear, just looking for targets, but not really finding anyone. Lucian doing a good job of holding the tower in that bottom lane. I'm gonna drink some water and get my mouth back because it is super dry. As you look at these top laners, Shyvana has a little bit of extra farm due to having not backed where Darius just came back. However, they are almost even, both having that giant spelt, that chain vest, the boots on Shyvana, as well as that 300 armor, cloth armor, whereas Darius has the Doran's shield and the long blade. But that's pretty even in that top lane, evened out across the board. Zyan just finished Feral Flare, and that's going to help him out a lot. He doesn't have all the stacks he wants on it just yet, but that's still pretty cool. Diana, though, is instead of going the Feral Flare route, going to be grabbing this Spectral Wraith item. I've not seen that on too many people, but grants 2 ability power per large or epic monster kill, 0 of 30, which means because she is an ability champion, she's going to be able to get a lot of ability power just off of killing large monsters, which is pretty cool. Child's finished by Nidalee, where Akali wants to go more of that spell vamp route and is going to be grabbing the beginning of that Hex Drinker. I think she's got the Gunblade at the moment. A little more damage onto Nidalee, causing her to flash off to the side. That will be a live Nidalee, but without flash. Pachinier going ahead and throwing that shield down for himself, as Ruse Scene is going to have to back off from that. So good job from Thresh saving himself. Twitch already was like, hey, let's keep back. I'm not really interested in fighting this out. I think that pink ward is actually still sitting there from earlier. Diana was so intense on getting through that bush and getting there for that Twitch kill that she did not see it, which means that their pink ward is still sitting there, which means that pink ward is extremely valuable. Akali actually might see that pink ward in the bush for blue team, maybe not, is making her way towards that bottom team. Maybe there isn't a ward in that bush. I guess it just looks like it. It's a weird look from this point, but Zyan holding this mid lane as Akali kind of goes towards the bottom lane, seeking maybe about initiating and fighting it out as Thresh came back, but decided instead to back out from that. Zyan getting a little bit of damage, but Nidalee doesn't really have too much damage at the moment, as she has been focusing on getting that mana regen so that she can keep herself alive with all of the heals that Nidalee can do. However, those heals aren't too helpful if the burst damage from the enemy is just too strong. Leona going ahead and starting off with that sweeping lens, doing a nice job of clearing that ward by Dragon, continuing to decrease blue team's vision. Purple team pinging, they can see Zyan. They know he is on his way towards this bottom lane. So blue team trying to make a little bit of a gank happen in that bottom lane, but deciding against it now that all of those pings and the defensive play has been made. Diana just around the corner, though. She may look to come in. They know that Pachinier likes to make his hooks. Diana's still just waiting off to the side. You can see her just a little bit in that top lane. If you're a player, though, you can't see her at this point because she is in, I think, hidden vision at the moment. But here comes the, Shyvana jumping into that bottom lane. There's that initiation by Leona. But if Twitch can turn invisible, he's going to be able to get out of that fine. But no, he went ahead and flashed, and that actually broke some of that invisibility and allowed Purple Team to finish the kill. Shyvana wasn't able to actually teleport, but it was enough that Blue Team still went down. Zyan coming in, though. Very low health on the Leona. Might be enough. Akali getting a nice ignite onto Nidalee. Will it be enough? Flashing off to the side of the ignite. It's still ticking, but not enough to kill Nidalee, as well as Zyan just defending in that bottom lane. Leona is ticking ticking red. Sorry, very low health, but is going to be able to back as well. So Purple Team was able to make some really good plays and survive it. Akali trying to make use of the fact that there was a little bit of distraction in that bottom lane on the Nidalee, who is just able to use heal. And with that mana ticking back up, should be able to continue to heal herself without any problem, going back and forth in cat form. Akali making her way towards the bottom lane once again. She knows that both Thresh and Twitch will be back without any time, or very quickly. Shyvana probably should have thought that through. Yeah, Shyvana went to teleport to the bottom lane. However, Darius can pull her out of that. As soon as he does, his grab is just going to pull you away. So be aware of where you are at when you go to do those teleports, and if the enemy team can stop you with that teleport. However, they were still able to get 2 kills in that bottom lane. Shyvana wasn't able to be a part of that, but still continued to do a nice job of defending in that top. Darius now 124 farm to 118, slowly beating out Shyvana in that top lane. She did finish off her Cutlass, so she is going a little bit of that Bork route before getting too defensive as she started that Warden's Mail as well. Darius having still a lot of partially built items, but hasn't backed just yet, sitting with another potion in his lap, so he's going to be plenty healthy. However, Diana's up here. She's going to have a lot of damage. Going ahead and flash, followed up by the Q. Got pushed by got pushed by Shyvana as she ulted. However, Diana got a nice pull on him, and that spelled death as Diana on Ruse picking up that kill. Or I guess Ruse on Diana, I should say that in the correct order, as I'm still learning a little bit on how to shoutcast correctly, though. Thank you for all for hanging out with me as I'm still learning a little bit in the shoutcasting mode and joining me in the game. Patchner throwing out a nice death sentence onto JP3 before the damage from Twitch. Not quite enough. Patchner actually flash flaying, trying to make some fanciness happen, but pulled too far underneath the tower as Leona was able to grab that kill in the top lane. They were able to both kill Zyan and take that tower, instead focusing the tower instead of on him. Purple Team more and more strongly in the lead. Twitch trying to get some damage down in that bottom lane, continuing to farm up. Now 107 to Lucian's 111, as Purple Team is slowly starting to place that noose around Blue Team's neck. Blue Team is going to have to do some really drastic pulls to make the game happen in their favor. Zyan Gengar doing a nice job of keeping these minions off of the tower. Trying to see if she could jump onto Twitch, but Twitch has a little bit much health. I don't know why she came out past her minions. I guess just trying to keep some vision. Oh, wanted to put a ward in there to see. Oh, it's okay. So she's going around to clear that ward off a dragon. As Diana's around the corner, Nidalee is actually going to be taking out this pink ward as well. So Purple Team should be able to get this second dragon. Leona doing a nice job of starting to clear the ward, but didn't quite finish it, as Thresh is going to grab that hook as well as pull Zyan over the wall. Blue Team now going hard, and is actually Shyvana that, for Purple Team once again, that picks up that dragon. So Purple Team were able to pick up that dragon. In the meantime, Crazy Murder went down as well. Patchinator and Dozerman, who both left over, going to be finished off. Ruse now godlike on the Diana, going to grab a kill on Twitch, and now they're looking for Rock to Baby, finishing this tower in that bottom lane, not even worrying about the damage, and that is Ruse picking up yet another kill. Extremely dangerous on his Thresh in that last game, and now even more dangerous on the Diana this game. He is a very, very scary champion. Indeed, as Raw Room Dead said, their fighting is extremely strong. They have great engage with that Shyvana as well as the Diana that can leap to a champion and then pull them or the entire enemy champions, all the enemy champions towards the team, as well as a Shyvana that can initiate with her ultimate. The damage from Nidalee and Lucian, all of their champions can get around quickly. The Nidalee leaps, the Lucian dashes. So many champions can move very quickly, and Leona as well with that perfect EQ combo and ultimate is going to spell a lot of frustration for blue team. Blue team really needs to wait until they can pick off the right target with that Thresh hook, and needs to group very quickly. They need to have a lot of the team there for that Darius ultimate. Once again, Darius is going to have a little bit of a difficult time if he can't nuke an enemy down, and especially against like a tanky Shyvana, you're not going to be able to do much. Shyvana is going to come into this mid lane as everyone's jumping onto Zyan. He actually was able to be saved by that Thresh Lantern. He's going to throw out the hook, but it's only going to land on a minion, as Lucian is going to be able to pick up that kill on Akali before backing off. And it is Shyvana that's going to grab the kill on that Zyan. Dozer Man, who's going to go down once again. Rue's going hard underneath the tower, is going to finish off Thresh, as well as Twitch. Just too much damage, finishing off people before they can respond. Purple team now 3-15, 10-1 on this Diana, dominating the game. Crazy Murderer wanted MVP. I think I might have to go over to Ruse unless Crazy Murderer makes some incredible plays in the next little bit. But Purple Team, I think, got an ace in that last fight as they are all starting to come back. They do still have their base towers, but probably not for long, as Purple Team now going to back with a lot of gold. Leona has finished off the even better engage item of this Talisman of Ascension, which is going to allow her to, the whole team, to just move so much faster when she can use it and then EQ into the enemy team, and her whole team will follow up right on her heels. The Bloodthirster has been finished by Lucian. It's actually a little bit backwards. Usually you see the Bloodthirster on Twitch and the Blade of the Ruined King on Lucian, but this game is going to be a little bit different. Lucian is going to be starting his Triforce, but not quite there yet. Nidalee has a lot of damage now with that needlessly large red, starting off with a lot of ability power. There's that speed up, though, by Leona. She went ahead and used her flash just to make sure that she lived. I was timing Dragon, lol. So she was in the middle of talking when all that damage went down and just decided to play it super safe, flashing off to the side, making sure that she lived. The Chosen One getting a little bit more damage under this tower. Shyvana keeps leaving. He's going to be able to get this tower without a problem. Rock to Baby doing massive amounts of damage to Nidalee. Has turned invisible, so Nidalee cannot see, but did a great job guessing. What a fantastic job, and grabbed that kill in that bottom lane. Diana's once again showed up. There's that Lucian calling over the wall. He's going to flash for the kill on Thresh. Finish it off. In that top lane, Darius being extremely low health. I don't think he has his ultimate anymore. Getting a little bit more damage done to Shyvana, but she is too tanky at that moment with that Randuin's Omen. Slowing him down, doing an excellent job as he has not really finished any full items. He has now started finishing that Tiamat, but that Hydra's... Ravenous Hydra, there we go, is going to be a little bit of a while before coming back. Surrender vote from blue team. Aww, don't surrender just yet. The game's only just begun. Sunfire Cape finished off by Darius. He's getting a little bit tanky on that bottom lane. 3 members are going to finish off of that tower. It is looking very dismal for blue team, but that is no reason to surrender because anything can happen in a game. 3-19, about 10k, 11k gold in the lead. Purple team still very strongly in the lead, but it is due to a number of amazing things. That Nidalee Spear, blind Nidalee Spear on Akali, simply guessing where she was a beautiful job by Leona, showing that you don't have to actually know where the Akali is to still do a good bit of damage to her. Zyan 1, says the Viper, as the game is just about finished yet. Blue team may have decided to finish off surrendering it as we finish up the last bit of the game. Crazy Murder in that top lane, 3-19. Purple team, or blue team, looks like they're making one last desperate move, pushing down the mid lane while Rock to Baby is farming. You need all of your team members there if you're going to push. This is not good for blue team as they do not have Akali, their biggest powerhouse. Akali, what are you doing? Get together with your teammates. Pachinier taking a spear to the face, knocking him down about a quarter health as Dozer Man sitting around the corner. But there's that Leona spear, or sorry, the Leona speed up as the rest of purple team comes in. We're going to slow this down. The exhaust going on to Leona, not really the target you want, but Twitch is nicely off to the side. There's the damage from Darius, but it's not enough to finish off Leona or get the kill as she really needed that kill to get the reset. There's the spear by Nidalee towards Akali, but not enough to finish it. However, Twitch too close, sticking around, is going to finish off Leona, but is now in range of that Diana Q, instantly taking half his health down with one ultimate, taking the other half his health down. Is going to turn invulnerable and make sure that Twitch can't do any more damage. Ruse is going to be invulnerable as well. You can see that there, pinging it away, but Blastonator is going to be taken down very quickly as that passive by, or not passive, but that ultimate is going to allow Diana once again to leap directly to Twitch and get a second ultimate off. The calling from Lucian a little bit off as he's now running to the side, trying to make sure that he can get in. I don't think a single one of those hit. Shyvana doing a nice job shouting that out. A little bit of fire out as blue team is now full in retreat mode. There's a little bit more damage from Ruse onto Dozer Man. Purple team going to be going, instead of pushing straight down mid lane, is going to be getting this red buff, making sure that their team is going to win for sure. Never give up, never surrender. That is the way I play. Even in a ranked game, you don't know what'll happen. JP23 looks like he might be a little bit of trouble, but he's just going to dash to the side. Zinzo actually using a nice dash to him is going to be able to get himself over. And Zinzao actually picked up the dragon. Holy shamoly. We're actually going to go back and watch that again here in that bottom lane. Oh, maybe I backed up a little bit too far. Yeah, I backed up a pretty good distance. Okay. See this. Lucian is going to do a nice dash over the wall. Dragon is pretty low health. Zinzao knows that he might be able to win this smite war, so he is going to dash to Lucian, use his smite, finish off the dragon, and then just flash over the wall. Holy shamoly, Dozer Man. That was incredible as Booty Smasher comes in using her flash as well, trying to get this chase on. It's going to get a little bit of speed up. Some auto attack should be able to finish off Dozer Man regardless because of that red buff. Well played, says Leona. That was incredible. The power of Xin Zhao being able to just dash over the wall and then flash back. Great job. Crazy Murder about half health. Not going to sit there for very long, as we can see, using that heal with the blue buff as well. Patchner actually coming in 1v3. Did not get the slow from Diane. However, the damage from the rest of the team going to finish him off despite his ultimate, slowing the enemy team down. Blue team 4-24. They would need a miracle of a team fight to win this game. The Chosen One trying to finish off Nidalee, but actually she used, Leona used the Crucible's, the Crucible, Mikhail's Crucible, to give a little bit of health to Nidalee, and Darius was never able to get his ultimate off on the Nidalee and finish her off. Darius just wanted one more kill before the end of the game. Good job by Twitch, though. 3 and 6 actually has the most kills for his team, as the rest of the team is trying to just figure out what to do to maybe turn the tide. Nice shield there from Patchiner is going to keep Akali alive for just a little bit, but Leona is going to re-engage with an EQ on Patchinator, who does not have the health or armor to deal with it. Twitch getting in, doing a little bit of damage. Zinzao doing a nice job of using his ultimate to knock a lot of purple team members away, as Diane comes in just finishing off everybody at her own pace. However, the knockup from Zinzao is going to do a nice job and actually get him a kill on the Diane, as Darius went ahead and used one ultimate. Now he's used a second ultimate, as he's not able to get a third ultimate off, though. Great job, though. He was able to get a double kill, and now Leona is just going to be poking away. Lucian sitting with almost no health, but all members of blue team have been aced. That might be game... Oh, no, we're still waiting. The game is actually still ticking. And Darius is not taking maybe only armor on the team. But great job. I don't think Zinzao going feral was the cause of the loss. He was a pretty good player. He actually he has Banshee's Veil as well. And he has some... this is painful. Come on, let's just call it. Going ahead and E-ing over to Lucian. Let me stun you. Let me stun you. If you guys want an entertaining trying to kill a teammate game, you guys should look through my YouTube videos for best chase ever, best touchdown ever. Was a hilarious chase by me and my brother, actually, down the mid lane. I tried to get him killed so many times. It was fantastic. You guys should check out that video. It is also available on the Facebook page, that Shoutcast guy. as purple team is just dominating. We now have Rabadon's Death Cap coming out for both the jungler and the mid laner. Going to be doing a lot of damage. 14-2. Diana kills who she pleases. Guardian's Angel also being picked up by Shyvana means that she is going to be a while going down, continuing to get even more health with another Giant's Belt. Sight on Patchinator down there as he walks over that Nidalee trap, but it looks like purple team wants to grab this Darius. They do have open inhibitors both in the mid lane and that top lane. 7-30, about 12k gold in the... Oh, no, I'm sorry. What's that? 2, and then 10, and then 5. So 17k gold in the lead. Purple team so strong in the lead. Later, Crazy Murderer. Fantastic job. Whoop. Whoa, I'm sorry. There we go. Jumping over. Thanks for playing on the Nidalee. Doing an amazing job. Now 5-3 as the rest of purple team now collect around Baron, wanting to finish it off. They actually have that. I don't think they have clairvoyance. Who had clairvoyance there? Somebody had an item that did something. But anyway, Xin Zhao coming in, trying to be fancy and stealing Baron, but purple team saw that coming, was able to finish him off as he tried to get it. Patchinator flashing out, but the flash from Leo is going to follow up as well. There's the ultimate, but not enough. The exhaust is slowing him down too much. Rakdo Baby is going to turn visible just in time for Gengar to actually finish her off. Best job there for Akali to have done was to stay in the bubble, and just purple team would have had to go back to get her, which would have delayed them coming and getting this inhibitor, or allowed her to walk it out, just turn around and go into the bush in that jungle, and may have been able to survive and then recall. Just straight running back to base is not the way to go. The Chosen One coming in here and doing a little bit on the enemy team. Not the greatest job, though, as the rest of the purple team is going to turn on. Xin Zhao doing a nice job of ulting to keep purple team members off his own allies and leaping in, doing massive damage to actually Shyvana, knocking her up. But she does have that Guardian's Angel available as the rest of purple team is going to fall in, finishing off both Twitch and Darius. That is also going to be Thresh falling once again as Akali comes in. 1v several people's not going to be very good as she also goes down. The Akali is Akali is still alive as Xin Zhao, who actually went down as Akali was alive through that. The tankiest members is actually all the wards going down. Shyvana teleporting to a ward just to laugh it off, finishing the game. Diana 2-fed, but great job from Shyvana as well. Lucian for not dying. Leona for all the fantastic engages. Great job on pretty much everybody on purple team. MVP, though, a lot of people were arguing that the Feral Flare on Xin Zhao is not the way to go, but I've seen Feral Flare work on Xin Zhao, so I don't feel that it was Xin Zhao's fault that the game was lost. I kind of do, even though he only had 1 kill. Okay. How do I phrase this? Okay, I will give MVP to Akali, because Akali had the least deaths. And in a game in which you're being dominated, you want to do whatever you can to not die. Give up farm. Give up towers. Give up objectives as long as you don't die. Because the worst thing you can do is die. When you die, you give up towers. You give up objectives. You give up those things anyway. So focus on not dying. And Akali did a great job, as well as had almost the most number of kills. But that being said, massive shout out to Xin Zhao on a fantastic last minute play with that dragon at bottom, down there, jumping over, stealing dragon, and I mean, he attempted it on Baron and he didn't manage it, but the fact that he did it on dragon proves that he can do it. So a great attempt by him nonetheless, even if you people call him that he lost. So bronze MVP on that game. Fantastic job, Rakdababy, on that. But MVP for the winners, purple team coming in here, dominating huge. Leona had amazing 25 kills, or 25, sorry, assists. 25 kills, what am I talking about? 25 assists, 15 kills. It is going to go over to Diana for all of those incredible kills. The things to focus on, especially as jungler, is doing what the enemy team does not suspect. You saw her in that bottom lane. She waited around the corner right by that tower for several minutes. She waited for an opportunity to jump in, and when she did, it paid off. She went to the top lane, was always available. She walked around against the Darius. She did what was not expected of her. You wait around for several minutes, but if it rewards you, that's worth it. So as a jungler, focus on making sure that you're there before your team even needs your help. Before a team starts losing, be there. She knew that Nidalee didn't need help in the mid lane because Nidalee had her heal. She had all of her escape mechanics. So no real reason to help Nidalee in the mid lane. So instead focus on the top lane a little bit, but more focus on the bottom lane. The bottom lane is very critical. You have 2 members. If you can shut both members down, now you're down to 3 members who are the only members who can kind of do well. But if Nidalee can survive in the mid lane and not die, now they're down to 2 members who can do well. And Xin Zhao in the jungle is requirement of that is being able to get kills to do well. So you're really all leaning on Darius to see what he can do. And Shyvana was so tanky in that top lane, he couldn't even really get kills on her. So a great job, though, by Purple Team grabbing all of that. So, why the Ruby Crystal? Why the Ruby Crystal? He was just trying to get some last-minute help to stay alive in those team fights. And I can understand, he wasn't building for long-term. He was building for short-term, just trying to stay alive. When your team is down that much, you focus on what you need now, not what you need to focus on late game. So,